Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller and today I want to talk about role-playing games, specifically monsters, the monster story lore. Can you create your own? Of course you can create your own, and I'm here to help you with that whole process. So great monster story elements for a role-playing game. What are they? How do you make a great monster story for your role-playing game? Develop and present a mystery around your monster is the first thing. Okay, so there's something that is unknown about it, or some aspect about your monster that is unknown. Now you might do this by not showing all of the monster, just part of it, or just leaving clues to all of the monster's activities. Don't let anybody have too much pre-existing information on the creature, is my advice to you. It's always good to have lots of holes. Or you can keep the monster in the shadow, so you never see the entire thing, or you never actually see the monster, which is something they used to do, they did in Jaws. You just never saw the shark until the shark eventually did show up. Make sure the monster is physically unique, or with something that is not normal. It needs to be outside of the norm in terms of its appearance. And to ensure that it's bizarre and frightening, making it unusual and weird is always helpful. The monster's physical characteristics need to be functional, not just decorative. You don't just stick something on a monster just for the sake of making it look strange. It still needs to function. If you have wings, make sure it can fly. Monsters need an odd noise or sound that they make, so they seem very alien, or it has a strange method of communication. That's always very helpful too. Don't reveal the monster too quickly. Make sure that you leave a bit of time so that players use their imagination, and they'll use their imagination to scare themselves. You don't even have to do that as a game master or dungeon master. What does the monster symbolize? Go for a universal fear that people have, not a specific fear that somebody at your players, one of your players has, but that people have. Okay? Present a normal human-like character to complement and contrast with the monster's behavior and nature. That contrast is actually very useful to you. What does the monster want beyond just killing and eating its victim, if that's what it actually does? Who is the target for the monster and why? So answer those questions in terms of your story. And scare the non-player characters first with the monster, then go after the player characters. Remember, when you're sitting at a table, you know that it is just make-believe, so you have to go after the non-player characters first before you can affect the player's characters. How does the monster interact with the player characters? To inflict some sort of suffering while allowing them to also learn about the monster, because you want them to learn something about the monster eventually. Once the monster is actually revealed to the player's characters, and sure, it is hard to kill, but not indestructible. You don't want it to be impossible to kill, just hard to kill. You want your monster to have an unusual weakness that the players will potentially be able to discover. It needs to be not too obvious so that they don't wind up discovering how to deal with it straight away. It needs to be something that is well hidden, but there are clues to how it could be dealt with, or eventually they can find out. Be very careful when using a real person, or the real player's phobias. It's best to avoid anybody who has a phobia to a particular thing. If they don't like spiders, then including something that's spider-like might not actually be good taste at all. My advice is stay away from those things and look at a different option. I'm hoping that this was all useful to you, and if it was, that's fantastic. I'm really happy. I want to thank all of my patrons. I want to thank you for watching, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.